How do you deal with the present situation where the entire world is in the grips of Corona? Hello, I'm Ranjan Kumar, founder Mysticfusion International and authentic self-leadership coach. Well, there are certain things we don't have to repeat and we don't have to speak about anymore, because all the videos and all our Facebook posts and all our YouTube videos probably are speaking about the same topic, that is Corona, Corona and Corona. Well, I just wanted to help you understand what's my take on, or what's my perspective on how we can deal with the present situation. Well, here are 3 steps which can help you or your family or your loved ones to understand what it is and to deal with the present situation. Step number 1, accept the reality. You see, entire humanity is facing this and we are not alone. In spite of the fact we understand that the entire world is in the grips of Corona, we as humans have a normal tendency to be in a denial mode for months and sometimes for years as well. There have been questions which the public is posting to the media and to the doctors and to the medical fraternity, asking when or how soon are we going to invent the medicine, the cure for this problem. And there are rumors that probably we might take a year or so, but let me tell you, even the medical fraternity knows that it might take 2 or 3 years as well. Now, why is that we are so in a haste to find or to make our doctors invent this medicine? The thing is, we know that there is a deep sense of responsibility that we'll have to share with the entire world, and probably we also are somewhere aware that we might fail in taking the responsibility and sharing the responsibility of taking care of ourselves. And that's exactly why we want the medical fraternity to give us a solution right away. And the deep underlying reason for this is that we are still in a denial mode, we are still angry, we are still frustrated, we are still in a shock that how could this happen to the entire world. Until about a month ago or 15 days ago, there were politicians who were saying that Corona is a very simple virus problem, and probably it's not even going to affect our people and affect our communities and affect our state. And in just less than 10 days, the entire situation is capsized. In just less than 10 days, here we are facing the reality in our face. And probably the invisible is dominating the entire world. So the first thing that we need to do as a humanity together is accept the reality. Because as long as we are not going to accept the reality, we are not going to take responsibility, and we are not going to share the burden of the entire medical fraternity, which is working so hard for all of us. So the first thing we need to do is accept what is happening and accept the situation and accept the reality as it is. When I say accept the reality as it is, my point is, do not accept the exaggerated reality as well, or do not overestimate your immune and do not overestimate your strength to prevent yourself from getting affected from this virus. Because there have been thousands who have fallen prey to this, and probably all of them also were somewhere very, very proud of themselves, very confident of themselves, and very confident of their own health and of their own wealth as well. Now, in last 2 days, you might have seen the news, and you might have found that even the prime ministers are not off this. Even the prime ministers have fallen. Some of the prime ministers and some of the big names from Hollywood also have fallen prey to this invisible enemy. Now, so the first thing I would request you to do is accept the reality as it is, with the facts and not with the exaggerated information overload. Now, the second step that can help us deal with the present situation is stop devouring information. Stop devouring information. I repeat it because this is so important. Everywhere you look at the Facebook posts, you look at the YouTube videos, you look at the media, and from what are you doing fundamentally, basically during these lockdown days? The best option is take out your mobile, watch a couple of YouTube videos, and take out your switch on your televisions, and here there is something we need to understand. Most of the families are glued to their television screens. Now, when they are glued to their television screens, the only information they are looking for is news, news, and news. Yes, we are all obsessed about news, but the point is you need to be very regulated, self-regulated when you are taking this information, because you are actually subtly activating the reticular activation system. And we as a humanity, we have triggered this, we have sparked this, we have ignited the reticular activation system by devouring more and more and more information on how many people are affected, how many countries are affected, how many people are hospitalized, how many people have probably died, fallen prey and succumbed to this virus. And most information is focused on how many people have succumbed than how many have recovered and how many are in a healthy state of health, mind or health. So I would request you to stop devouring information, or at least regulate it to the best of your capacity, because as long as you are adding more and more to this reticular activation system, to be very brief about what is this RAS, reticular activation system, it's the capacity of your mind, or it's a faculty of your mind which gets activated the moment you are looking for something. And when you are looking for that negative information, you start attracting more and more and more of that negative information. And we as a humanity have done something subconsciously or unconsciously. We are already inviting more and more of negative info. And since we are in a transition phase from information age, probably information is the cheapest thing that is available, and information is the very... I see a couple of programs yesterday and day before, yesterday and today as well. I found that there was no news, and yet the media, that channel, probably one or two couple of channels, they were hell-bent upon creating something on corona, creating something on the pandemic, and fabricating a story only with their background musics and scores and everything to make it more and more dramatic, and only to increase their TRP. Now I would say that there are hundreds of media people who are sharing this serious responsibility with our government, with our people, and they are doing the job of passing on and bringing on factual information. But in spite of that, there are a couple of channels, there are a couple of people who just are busy making this a sensation and making everything sensational. And this is exactly what I would want you to control yourself from, or protect yourself from, and shield yourself from any information overload. This is a point where we don't need more of information, rather we need more and more of connection. And the third step I suggest, I advise, or probably just my opinion, my take on how to deal with the present situation. The third step that you can do is start connecting. Yes, I repeat, start connecting. This 21 days of lockdown in the world, or in our country, India especially, I see, I'm in my 40s, early 40s, and I've never seen such kind of a thing where for probably 3 weeks or 4 weeks the entire country is shut down, the entire operations are shut down, all the people are behind the doors of in their four walls, and this is probably what we were subconsciously asking for, and this is probably what the entire humanity was asking for, if I'm not mistaken. But there is a subtle reason for everything that is happening, and if you're like me, and if you're like most people, you would believe that there is a meaning behind everything that happens, and we need to take the responsibility to connect the dots and to find the understanding that lies beneath this whatever situation is happening. And this coronavirus has forced us to connect with our families, to connect with our own selves in spite of the situation, and because people are still in a denial mode, they are looking for how to pass the time, and they are looking for how can I keep myself engaged, how can I prevent myself from getting bored. The very question is that you are getting bored. You are getting bored being by yourself. You are getting bored without any professional task to do. This means that somewhere you were addicted to so much of action without any kind of reflection and self-reflection on where exactly the journey is headed towards. And these 21 days, probably I would request you to focus back on self-reflection, start journaling, start being with yourself, and start connecting with you and the nearest world of yours. Our family is not just to feed, and our family is not just to serve professionally. Our family is to start connecting with, and I see I'm having a great time enjoying with my kids. I'm having a great time learning cooking. I'm having a great time with my parents. I'm having a great time enjoying myself. And there are times when I'm pushed to a limit where I think, why am I doing that? Why am I thinking? Why am I wanting to look away from the reality? And this is not a 1 day's job or a 2 days job. Probably that's why we are blessed with a 21-day lockdown. I say stay home and stay secured and stay safe. And along with that, my request to you is stay connected. And stay connected is the word you need to remember, because these 21 days is a boon in disguise. I'll tell you, you will probably never get in this kind of opportunity in your life to be forced to stay back with your family for 21 days, which is unasked. You never asked for this probably, but probably we have collectively asked universe to give us some time, to put a break to the speed at which we were progressing, and to look for the course correction, and to find opportunity to start connecting with our real self. And this is exactly what I thought. These 3 steps are going to help you deal with the present situation. The first one, accept the reality. The second step is stop devouring information. And the third and the most important step is stay connected, stay connected, stay connected. Love you.